What's good, my galactic fam? So today I'm gonna actually talk about my journey. I know a lot of people may be wondering, how did I even get to this particular space? Well, today, August 23rd, 10 years ago is when spirit came and swept my ass up. Okay. It actually happened August 22nd, between the night of the 22nd to the morning of the 23rd. And this was 2013. Okay. And so anyhow, I was at a friend's house and I ended up sleeping in a car with my friends. But they kept trying to tell me, oh, go in the friend's house, go in her house, go to sleep. It's me being very stubborn, very Scorpio, and was like, no, I don't want to do that. I want to go home on my bed. So that's what I did. I attempted to make it home. I just didn't make it home. Not that day anyway. So I'm driving. Literally like 5 minutes out from my house. Okay. I came almost 20 minutes. It's like maybe about a 20-minute drive from my house. I came that far. Made it all the way to about 5 minutes close to my house. And I drifted to sleep. Why did I do that? So anyhow, when I drifted off, there was a 2-lane street. I'm in Miami.
Looking for the hoochie daddy.
So if y'all familiar with 135th and like 22nd Avenue, or just familiar with 22nd Avenue in general, 22nd Avenue only has 2 lanes. So I'm riding in the very far right lane. There is a car in the left lane. And, we're pretty much going like this. But when I fell asleep, I woke up kind of like in a panic, and I realized that I almost veered to hit this car over to the left. So instead of me hitting the car, because there was nothing else around us, instead of me hitting the car, what I did actually was I veered like this and ran up on the median. Okay. What's on the median, boys and girls? Tree. Yeah, that's right. A tree. I fucking hit a tree. Okay? Yeah, right? I got my niece in the car with me. So I hit a tree. And when I hit this damn tree, this tree so happened to be the only tree that stuck out, right? Like almost like an elbow.
Oh, great heavens!
Strip, they're just fine. This particular one wants to be special, and it was special for me. Okay. Yeah. So when I hit it literally crushed all the left side of my vehicle. My entire vehicle on the left side was crushed, y'all. Okay. On the driver's side, entire left front end crushed. So I hit this tree, or actually they told me to say that the tree hit me. Okay, that's, hey, okay. So the tree hit me. I just found it, if that makes any sense. But anyway, so yes, so I'm on this median, hit the tree, car crashed. It's hot. Hot in here. So hot. Again, I'm in Miami, so it's already humid as frick outside, and then all of a sudden you add a car crash to it.
Oh, great heavens!
Yeah. I don't know if y'all have ever been in a car accident. I'm not wishing it on y'all, but it's hot. It's hot. Okay, when the radiator and all of that get affected, it is hot. So that's all I can remember. Okay, well, not all I can remember, but there's quite a bit of things I can remember. But the first going through it, that's what I remember. It being super freaking hot, and I'm still like very groggy. Not like I'm understanding what just happened, but not really understanding the magnitude of what just happened. So, what's up, baby? Baby. So, yes. So I didn't quite understand the magnitude of exactly what had just happened. So, I'm sitting there. There's broken glass everywhere in my car. Broken glass. I have, actually, I don't know. You guys can probably see it because I have like the cinematic view, but anyway, I have like some cuts and slashes still in my hand from the car accident. I had pieces of glass like stuck all in my hand. Thank God I had on my seatbelt, but I had a nasty ass seatbelt rash going across my chest. I woke up with the airbag extended, everything, right? It was just crazy. So here I am sitting in the car, like, did I really just crash my car?
Emotional damage!
It's me oblivious, y'all. I don't know about y'all, but I don't know. Like, this is how I know sometimes, like, I'm an extraterrestrial being, because a lot of things just don't rattle me, okay? And especially at that age prior to me having a child, my response was just very dull, very, very numb to things. It was just like, oh. So anyway, I'm sitting here, okay, in the driver's seat still, okay. All of a sudden, the person who I almost hit gets out of their car. They turn around, get out of their car, come over to me and was like, oh my God, are you okay? What just happened? All I know is that, we almost ran into each other, and then all of a sudden, you ran up on a meeting, you hit the tree. Oh my God, are you okay? Are you okay? And it's me like, well, I think I'm okay. I think so, but not really. Let me call the ambulance. So that's what the person did for me. Very kind. Because at this point, I haven't gotten to the severity of things, you guys. At this point, I still thought I was okay.
Emotional damage!
So they hopped out the car, called the ambulance. The ambulance got there in maybe like 5 minutes. During this time, I called my mom. Mama! Now, remember, it's like, now it's in the wee hours of the morning. I called my mom. I'm like, hey mom, don't panic, but I got into a car accident. And of course she's like, she didn't panic, but of course she's just like, oh, what? Like, oh my gosh, just kind of like aggravated, having to have a lot of responsibility. So she woke up just aggravated, like, what is, you okay? At least she was asking if I was okay. And I'm like, yeah, I'm okay, don't worry. They just called, the ambulance for me. I should be fine. The ambulance? Okay, so literally we're right down the street. So she's like, okay, well, where are you? I'm coming. And again, she's not rattled or anything like that. So I hang up the phone with her. Then when the ambulance get there, like, I'm trying to, actually before that happened, I was trying to move myself from out of the the driver's seat, okay? There was my windows were shattered, glass all over the chair on the passenger side, all of that. So I'm trying to kind of like move myself over to get out of the passenger side door when I realize, oh shit, my leg not coming with me. What? My whole leg, y'all. My whole leg. Said, where you think you going? I couldn't feel my leg. Oh, somebody, he needs some milk. I got the other leg over. I got the right leg over, but that left leg was like, what? Where you think we going? God damn it. All right, here we go. So I so happened to look down at the leg. Y'all, why I saw my bone sticking out of my tights. That's what I had on that night. I had on tights. I will never forget it. I had on this white. I used to love that white shirt. I had like this white sheer flower top on, kind of like tank top with a bantu top under it, because I had just recently had my titties reduced. So yeah, I was out here like, you know, enjoying life as a small titty girl in the small titty gang. So anyhow, hold on, you guys. So yeah, so anyhow, I had on a bantu top and I had on some tights and like these little silver little flat sneakers I had. I used to love that little that was my go-to outfit. Oh, I was so mad they had to cut it off me when I got to the hospital, but wait, we gonna get there. So anyhow, so I look down and my bone is out of my tights. Okay, like I'm like, nigga, what? Nigga who? Huh? What way? All right, bet. So anyhow, the ambulance get here by then, and they're like, hey, you know, what's your name? Are you okay? Are you with us? And I'm over here like, yeah, I'm just fine. What's going on with y'all? And they were like, okay, can you climb out? I'm sorry, sir, I tried that already. I can't do that. Well, how come? Because my leg is broken.
Emotional damage.
Oh no. All right, so we're gonna help you. You know, this is a situation. We're gonna help you get across the seat because my left door would not open. Everything was smashed, literally smashed. Okay. So they said we would help you get across the seat or whatever. So anyway, bottom line is they got me out of the right side of the car. Okay, they got me out of the passenger side door and get me onto the stretcher. Once I'm on the stretcher, they realized like pretty much like my leg was kind of like dangling a little bit. Like it was still attached to my body, but I had such extensive like trauma and injury to it that I was losing blood at a very rapid pace. So once they like realized that, they had to call the helicopter for me. Okay, it's me sitting inside the damn ambulance letting them do their thug thizzle, and I'm over here just kind of like oblivious of what the hell is going on, because I have never been in such a bad car accident like that, let alone put inside of an ambulance. And on top, the only time I had been in an ambulance was when they came out to the school for career day. Okay, other than that, I ain't been in no damn ambulance. Huh? Okay. So anyway, so I'm sitting in the back of the ambulance now and hearing that they had to call, I had to be airlifted. Okay, we have to call the helicopter. She has to be airlifted. She's losing too much blood. I'm over here like, I'm losing too much blood. Where? Who? It's not me that y'all talking about. Y'all can't be talking about me.
Legally blind. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. I'm innocent.
Okay. So, anyhow, by then my mother gets there, and she saw my car. Oh yeah, sorry. Let me add into that. Okay, I just got that car. Yeah.
It was at this moment I knew I had fucked up.
This happened in August. Yo, I had just got that car in June. So you know my mama was pissed, right? You know she was pissed because she the one who helped me get it. I was young at the time. You know she was pissed. Okay. All right, sidebar. Anyhow, so by that time my mom reached, she sees me in the back of the ambulance and she sees the car and she's like, oh my gosh. She starts to panic then because she's like, wait, this is way worse than she said this was. Like, what the hell is going on? So, you know, the people in the ambulance, they were like, the EMTs, they were like, oh, just wait till your mom, Tamasha, and let her know that you're okay. So I had a glove on my hand because my hand is bloody as I don't know what. So it's me laying down like this, like, hey, I'm all right. So totally not funny, okay? But anyway, it was funny because that's just me. Scorpio shit. Dark humor. Sorry, y'all. So anyway, so that's what happened. And then I had to be driven over to Bunch Park because that's the biggest field, the helicopter. Actually, first time being in an aircraft at all, because prior to that I hadn't even like gone on an airplane. Okay, I was afraid of heights, so it was like, damn, my first time for everything. Okay, dealing with these aspects of life had to be at a traumatic point in my life, but whatever, you know. So now I'm in this helicopter and I see, you know, I guess they're like helicopter EMTs, I don't know. They have like these headsets on talking to each other because I see their mouth moving, but I can't hear what they're saying. So they're it's so loud in the fucking helicopter. So they're communicating with each other through these headphones. And I'm over here like, y'all gonna tell me what's going on? Huh? What's happening? We okay in this helicopter? Because I've never been like in an aircraft like this before. I've never flown. Please tell me I'm okay. Wait, like I'm on a stretcher on everything. Y'all look like y'all too comfortable. Anyway, it was cold in there. It was nice. But yeah, so I'm in a helicopter. I pull up to Jackson Ryder Trauma Center. If anybody knows, in Miami, that's where you go when you are fucked up. And I was fucked up. All right, so I'm back with my niece. Where did I leave off, niece? Oh yeah, I'm in a helicopter. I pulled up to Jackson Ryder Trauma Center. Yeah, pretty much I was fucked up. I get in there, they have to do emergency surgery on me. Yo, don't pull on my neck. Don't pull on my Nefertiti. Anyway, they had to do emergency surgery on me, okay? This is where, like I was saying, that I had to have my favorite outfit cut off me. They cut my clothes, y'all. I'm laying on the stretcher. Now I'm literally awake for all of this, okay? It was the experience of a lifetime. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention when I got up on the roof of Jackson Ryder Trauma Center and they took me out of the helicopter, they were just like, I don't know, I just remember this white lady with very, very blue eyes just staring at me, asking me like, are you with us? Are you cognizant? Are you this? Da, da, da? Can you tell me your name? Can you tell me your age? Can you tell me who's the president? You know, stuff like that. And I'm over here just like, yeah, you know, I'm fully cognizant of what's going on. Yeah. All right, so yeah. And so they cut my favorite go-to slider outfit, okay? Whenever I was about to slide, that was it. They cut it off of me as I get prepared for emergency surgery. Because like I said, they said I was losing blood at a very fast rate. So whenever you have like any type of injuries in very prevalent spaces that have like large blood vessels, I want to call them aortic blood vessels. if I'm remembering correctly. Then that means it pretty much could affect my heart very quickly, right? Because I'm not going to get the blood flow that I need to go back to the heart. So anyhow, it was pretty much severed. A lot of my blood vessels, a lot of my nerves were severed because of the extent of the crash, of the trauma is what they call it, to my leg. All at once, it's just happening so fast. And then in the next like 2 minutes, I was knocked the fuck out. I ain't know nothing else until I woke up. Then when I woke up, the pain begins, okay? I didn't feel no pain prior to the motherfuckers cutting me, okay? No, I'm not complaining. Thankfully, they saved my life and put me back together. I feel like Humpty Dumpty, okay? I always thank my orthopedic physician, my orthopedic surgeon, actually, for putting me back together. I will never forget him, Dr. Quinn in Hospital, okay? Like, when I say my spirit team made sure that I had the best care. I had the fucking best care. I had doctors from the whole time. But anyway, these are the doctors that was working on the athletes, because they knew I was about to be out here running on niggas. Wow. Neither here nor there. But anyway, so yes, Dr. Quinn. I will never fucking forget him, dog. Like, I should probably go and try to visit Dr. Quinn. You know, he probably wouldn't know who the hell I was, but I'm gonna be like, sir, go through your files. Let's go back to 2013. Biting into a seed be bad. So much heavy medication, so much heavy. I was on dilaudid, I think they call it, morphine. I was on so much motherfucking morphine.
Stop treating me like I'm an ibuprofen when I know I'm a perk 30.
It was not funny, okay? I was high. And all I could do was sleep. That's all I could do was sleep. So I would wake up and I would be like...
And as I was asleep, all I knew was that I was in the underworld being re-prepared for my mission.
I was in my room by then, which I had spent a month and a half, okay, inside of this room. I pretty much spent the next month and a half, okay, in that room. That's why I said I made it home, but I ain't make it home until like a month and a half later. Could y'all imagine spending a month and a half in a hospital? But anyway, so it may not sound like a long time, but in a hospital, that's a long time, okay? I feel like you're in prison. Was with me the entire time. Shout out to my mama. Shout out to my grandma. They both were with me literally the entire time. They always took like shifts. I know it was a very stressful time for them, but they took shifts and they never left me alone, okay? Never left me alone.
This is when I understood the power of Big Mama and how she never leaves you alone.
So shout out to them for that, because not a lot of people be having that type of like support when they're in the hospital, because people can literally do whatever it is that they want to you. And I couldn't afford that, bro. Like, I was in a fucked up ass situation, okay? So anyway, when I finally came to, I realized that I was in this whole contraption, okay? They had to extend my leg out so that when the repairing process happened, or the regeneration process happened to my body, that it had enough space to do what it needs to do. I'm a tall girl. I can't be around here, you feel me, like one leg up here, one leg down here, and
One arm on neck, one arm on frontal.
that wouldn't have been cute. So I woke up with this triangular, at this point, contraption built into my thigh. But I don't have pictures I had pictures of all of this stuff, but as I started coming out of it, it was too traumatic. It was really too traumatic for me to keep with me. But I don't know, maybe at some point I can try to retrieve these pictures. If I don't know, we'll see how I could probably retrieve these pictures. But it was too traumatic. It was too traumatic for me to keep them. And I wasn't ready to share my story. But anyway, I'm here. So yeah, I had this triangular contraption in my leg, and it was hooked onto this it was hooked onto this water bag that hung, like, it was literally a contraption, y'all, over my bed. Like, it was like they pretty much had to build like something like a canopy over my hospital bed. And they threw a water bag over that to pull down. It was like some Western shit. Like, literally, it looked like I was like in a Western hospital, like in one of those Western movies, like pew, pew. Anyway, so they had to take the water bag, put it over that, and it pulled. The water bag was so heavy that it pulled and extended my leg, okay, as it was healing. Because I went through at least 15 surgeries while I was inside of the hospital. At least 15 while I was in there.
So at this point in retrospect, I believe I was being reformatted on higher levels, even though I wasn't really aware.
This was just the beginning of it, okay? By the time like maybe 3 weeks had passed, I was in a halo external fixator. So you can imagine at this point, I couldn't get up to go to the bathroom. I couldn't get up to do Nathan, okay? Nothing. I was able to eat. But I mean, who wanted to eat when you were in that much BS, right? So I had lost a lot of weight. I had lost maybe like 50 pounds being in the hospital because I just wasn't eating like that. That's pretty much that. While I was in the hospital, I had to learn how to walk with a walker. I would use the bedpan to use the bathroom in the bed. So that means that there had to be someone there always to help me if I had to go to the bathroom. Bathroom includes number 1 and number 2. Yeah. So you talking about privacy? None. And I'm a Scorpio. And we love our privacy. So I fractured my hip in 2 places, all on the left side. So I have a metal coil in my hip right now as we speak. I fractured, I shattered my knee, my left knee, and that has pins in it as we speak. And I totally broke my leg, all on the same side, on my left side.
That I was able to break down exactly what part of me was being healed, which was my divine feminine, because the feminine is depicted on the left side of the body.
So this is where spirit begins to come in, right? And around this time, my main focus was just kind of like on my physical. My main focus was, I just really want to focus on getting myself back to a certain place so that I can move around and I could be independent again, because I had just gotten used to being independent. I was 23 years old, just getting used to like really being independent for real. And so and here I am 33 right? So yeah. And wow, that was at the very beginning of Virgo season. My moon is Virgo, you guys. But anyway, I just kind of like put that together. So at this point, all is like, you know, I'm just going through the motions. of how to get home. My main thing was, I want to go home. I want to go home. I want to go home. I want to go home.
And the beautiful thing about this was I didn't know, but I was coming home to my spirit.
When I got home and didn't have so many people around me in the hospital, you know, the nurses coming in and the CNAs and all of that type of stuff. When I got home, that's when shit really got real. Because
when we're in the isolation period of our process, of our ascension, that's when it can feel the scariest.
Still had my grandmother there with me, but it changed because I didn't have that round the clock assistance, right? Or not even assistance, but interaction. So you can just only imagine that I get super freaking silence. I feel like I literally felt like I was in prison in the hole. I don't even know what that feels like, but I know what that feels like because I did time. Y'all, this is when spirit really started to speak to me. This is when this transformation happened. This is when this transformation solidified itself and was like, oh, you on this roller coaster now. Bet. So I started reading. First thing I started reading was the Bible. I'm listening to gospel music. I grew up Christian. I was never necessarily heavily Christian because I just never really believed in one true thing that much. However, I started listening to, you know, like I said, gospel music a lot. I started to pray and cry and pray and cry and pray and cry and ask why this happened to me. You can just imagine me at 23 years old, ready to get back out into the world. And I'm literally at a standstill for damn near a whole year. Okay, damn near a whole year it took me to really get back to a place where I can be functional. And I'm not even saying like functional like I can get up and go out and go shake a tail feather. No, this is just functional like, oh, I can get up and go to the store and come back home, like legit. Okay. And so so I'm just spending a lot of my days just like questioning and communing with spirit and listening to music and, you know, watching TV, watching YouTube, reading books, whatever. And so when I got into the Bible and I began to read the very beginning of the Bible, not necessarily Genesis, but I think I was reading, was it Deuteronomy? I believe I started reading something in Deuteronomy. And it saddened me because there was a part in the Bible that was saying for God told these people to take these people's land and become the Lord of their land. And I'm like, well, this cannot be the same God that we all pray to, you know, that we all ask for this holy, you know, all of this love. This cannot be the same God. And you know, I began to ask my grandmother, well, how come God allowed people to do this? How come God allowed people to do that? And like, that is when things started to click for me. I said, I gotta go deeper. So after I get out of my funk, because this shit really made me sad, like I'm over here looking for my salvation, and I come across the part in the Bible where y'all telling the goddamn God is telling the people supposedly to take over someone else, to take over someone's land, and if they don't want to necessarily abide by their rules as if they're God, but abide by their rules and stuff like that, that they're gonna, that they have the ability to kill them. It didn't sit right with me. So within this heavier research, I come across a lot of different pantheons, and I cannot remember verbatim exactly what was being given to me at the time, but I knew it was a certain level of expansion that God was trying to tell me, that everything is one. And when I got the understanding that everything was one, then I knew that it was safe for me to begin to explore different aspects of spirituality, of what I understood as religion at the time, but I'm gonna deem it as spirituality. Now, at this given point, I'm still very Christian mindset, so the next thing that you kind of like go to is Rastafarianism. So I was very heavy into understanding myself and my divinity, and how important I was as a queen and things like this, and kings and stuff like that, through Rastafarianism. So that's very kind of like closely linked to Christianity, but not really so. So it's kind of like a little bit more on a spiritual aspect than on a religious aspect. However, it still kind of like gave you that militant type of stability that religion gives you, right? So I'm listening to a whole bunch of Bar Marley. I'm just being transformed at this time through Rastafarianism. So I go from Rastafarianism to the Orishas. Through the Orishas is how I began to open up my aspect of working with magic. And I used to want to, like, I think like any human being would want to, I used to want to kind of like microwave that shit, anything. If I needed something, bop, 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 bop. But it was like, nah, it's not going to work like that. And I'm like, well, why the fuck is it not going to work like that? Oh, because you're actually heading to a higher ground. We're not going to just give you a low level of material manifestation. You're gonna have to work for this shit, because you have a bigger mission at hand. Okay, this shit is bigger than physical. This shit is bigger than material. Let's get it. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I go through that. I go through the goddess Oshun. Then I go through the goddess Oya. Then getting into Olokun. It was just a beautiful, beautiful journey. Then from there, I began to listen to like a lot of Bobby Hemmett, like heavy listening to Bobby Hemmett. So I'm watching all of these particular lectures. I'm getting some education on exactly what spirituality is and how we live in a simultaneous world. So at this point, I'm still very much so living physically, but I have a certain understanding of spirituality now, where it's not so deemed or steeped in religion. And from there, I steadily, listen to the Bobby Hemmett. At this point, I'm in like this relationship that really catapulted me. The relationship that I had was with a Capricorn, which is, it deals with the planet of Saturn, which deals with karma. So I went through a lot of my karma very quickly in that relationship, and it really just like catapulted me forward very fast, I would say, on my journey. Oh my God, like through life so fast. I was on fast tracks. So from 2013 all the way up to now, I've been doing this shit for a while, y'all. Okay, I've been searching myself for a while consistently. If I have to say that it is anything in my life that I've ever been consistent with, spirituality had to be it, because it just gave me a certain level of security that nothing in my life has ever given to me. So and I'm truly grateful for the divine and for my spirit guides to have come down and actually bestow upon me this particular remembrance. They worked with me, they worked on me, y'all. Like, I'm telling you, I was regenerated, I was put back together like fucking Humpty Dumpty, and that was not the end of things. Okay, I went through some other traumatic stuff. Like, I just don't want to make this video too long, but in the midst of that, in the midst of this time, you know, between 2013 and 2023. I ended up having my daughter in 2015. I met her father. Her father and I were like we had the same mindset when it came down to relationships, and we understood on a spiritual level some higher knowledge, at least at that point, of what I understood as higher knowledge, and I guess what he understood as higher knowledge. And we came together and we created Miss Solar Ray, an even higher entity, right? So I'm very, very thankful for that. And while being pregnant with her on my birthday, I fell. Okay, I was going through a lot of grounding. I had to, like, God was shifting and shaking my foundation so heavily, you know. And I actually fell and I fractured my femur. So I'm back in the hospital, but I'm now too much pregnant with my daughter. So when I tell y'all I went through the fucking ringer, I went through so much trauma in order to, like, really just transmute and transform my life. And this is why I speak the way I do now. You know, people will probably think that, like, I don't know, like I'm cocky or something like that. But y'all have to understand that I went through the fucking ringer to get here. This was not no fly by night. This was not no I read a couple of books and now I'm here. Nah, nigga, I went through the motions, okay? I went through the ups and downs, the in and out, the pain, the hurt, I went through it all, okay? I went through it all, and I'm still here. And I feel like I had to go through that deep level of trauma in order to assist a lot of you all through that, pretty much that pain threshold, because I know what it's like to go into the underworld, into that pain threshold, and come back out of that motherfucker like with a chinchilla on.
Throw me butt naked in the jungle and I'll come out with a chinchilla coat, a leopard hat, and 10 pounds heavier from eating them niggas.
Okay, I did this. I earned my stripes. So when I speak before you today, like, I'm speaking from a place of humble gratitude, but at the same time, on the other flip side, I'm gonna pop my shit. I'm gonna pop my shit, okay? Because I earned it. I earned it. I may not look like it. I may not look like what I've been through, but I earned it, okay? And so, anyway, that was kind of like a fast forward of some other traumatic things I experienced, but that's not even it. But that's just all I'm going to share at this given point. And yeah, so anyhow, going into you know, the spiritual relationship I had for about 4 years until that turned kind of like toxic, because you have to know how to let go of things when the time is right. Sometimes we want to hold on to things because we're kind of like, we're used to it. We get complacent. And spirit is like, life is not for you to get complacent. Life is for you to understand how to flow. Don't block your flow. Just keep moving. Keep moving. Just keep flowing. Just keep flowing.
Hey, Mr. Grumpy Gills. When life gets you down, you know what you gotta do?
I don't want to know what you gotta do.
Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. What do? We swim, swim.
Dory, no singing.
Dory. I love to swim in.
Dory.
When you want to swim, you want
See,
to
I'm gonna get stuck now with that song. Now it's in my head.
Sorry.
Anyway, this is not a sweet. That's not sweet at all. Back to what I was saying. Spiritual beings. So you're not only dealing with Kemetic, you're not only dealing with you know, our African religion. You're actually dealing with a whole plethora of things, which is still ours at the end of the day. So if y'all don't know who Bobby Hemmitt is, you definitely want to, like, tap in with him. And 2017, I determined that I wanted to do some level of body work. And I determined this because I was going to a holistic physical therapist to help me walk again. Okay, she was a Pilates instructor, she was a holistic physical therapist, and she helped me learn how to breathe, how to work with my breath. This is the first time I ever got introduction to my breath. Okay, before then I was holding my breath through all of that pain, and when I met her, she taught me to release my pain through my breath. That is gold. That is gold. I will forever love that lady for the knowledge and the tools that she gave me. And what's so interesting is that she had the same blue eyes as the lady who greeted me when I got to the hospital. When I first got to the hospital from off the helicopter, my physical therapist. And I will never forget that. She has this beautiful blue eyes. Oh my God, I love Michelle. Like, when I say light of a person, light, honey, okay? To get into massage therapy. But my whole goal was to begin to do Reiki and then couple it with massage therapy. So in 2018, I found Raseki Arts Temple. And I did my first Reiki class in South Carolina, which is where my family is originally from, which I thought was so beautifully spiritual too. And my grandmother and my grandfather traveled with me there, and I drove, which is freaking crazy because my granddaddy never trusted anybody to drive like that, okay? But he went with me. He drove up there with me, y'all. And I had to be super grateful for that. So my grandfather, my grandmother, and my baby and we went up there to South Carolina for me to learn Reiki. So I did my first class, and then I ended up doing my second class a couple of years later in 2020, right before the pandemic hit. Anyway, right before that hit in 2020, February, actually. It hit in March. February, I legit went to Georgia. I went to Atlanta, Georgia. That's where she was stationed at, and did Reiki level 2. And then from there, I just pretty much gained a lot of knowledge, myself, any additional knowledge and stuff like that, because it's a journey. It's a journey. You just don't learn it and it just pops like that. It's a journey. You have to heal yourself first in order to even understand how to heal anybody else. So yes, so now I am a certified Kemetic Reiki practitioner, massage therapist since 2018. I've now moved into being a certified life coach as well, transformational coach. And I am doing this work proudly. Okay. I also am into, my main thing was wanting to transform my life back to love. That's what was most influential to me. One of the most influential books that I read while I was laying in that bed was Marianne Williamson's book called A Return to Love. And that helped me to repair my relationship with God, because at that point I didn't know exactly where to go, what to do, how to do it, who do I pray to, because at this point I'm feeling slated. So with me reading this book, it allowed me to really regenerate my body, because now I had love again, I had love again. And love is actually the glue to all things. Love is the glue. Fear is the remover. It's like, it's the detacher, you know. It detaches you from everything. But love is the glue. It brings it together, it holds it together. And when I read this book, I had so much like ease that came over me. It allowed me to ease back into life. So my main goal was and is to return others back to love through transformation. So you are going to go through your own you're going to go through your own process. You're going to go through your own traumas, trials, tribulations, your own family, things, whatever, right? You're going to go through your own thing. But that's where someone like me would step in to be able to assist when you are ready to move you to a higher ground, okay? And the higher ground is going to always be love. So we cultivate love back into the body by, one, teaching you how to come back to your breath. Coming back to your breath is the most sacred thing you can do for yourself. And from there, it allows your body, the cells in your body, your organs, your tissues, and everything to know that we are calm enough, we are safe enough to be able to do our natural work. Because when your body is so tense and it's so filled with fear or filled with breath that has not been released, it's aggravated. You know, your nervous system gets aggravated. You're constantly in fight or flight mode. You're constantly ready to kind of like just pop off at any kind of moment, you know. So with that type of aggravation or agitation in the body, it begins to break down the tissues little by little, little by little, little by little, to where you begin to deteriorate. Okay? You begin to deteriorate. Because there's so much hate and trauma and shame and guilt built up in your body. Your body is a self-sustaining tool. It knows what to do to get itself back to balance, back to homeostasis. But because we go through so many things on a daily basis and we are not breathing through them, it gets us like, it kills us off. Okay? It kills us off. Legit. So breath is very important. Breath is going to be number one. Number two is beginning to move out any type of trauma through massage, through movement, through dance, through shaking, whatever it can be, right? You want to move those things out of the tissue through touching yourself, through tapping. You have to remove all of that energy that has been stagnant and stored inside the body. Okay. And then number three would be Reiki healing, because now we are waking up the physical. We Reiki heal on the energetic level to remove it from higher sources. Okay, so you're removing all of the stagnation from its higher bodies. So you have more bodies than your physical body. There's probably about a good, I'm just going to cover a good 7 layers that we know, and they deal with the chakra system. So you have your physical, you have your emotional, you have your causal, you have your mental, you have your celestial body, you have your etheric body. All of these particular bodies coincide with your 7 major chakras. And these bodies, information trickle down through each one of them until they get down to your physical body. Now, if you have trauma and holes in your aura, and you know, people continuously throwing jabs at you, you continuously being into you know, spaces that sever you from your higher self, then it's going to be contaminated, you know. So by the time it get down to your physical body, you're probably getting contaminated as information, which is why a lot of us end up being sick or having ailments, right? So which is what pretty much happened to me. Something traumatic had to happen to me because I was not taking care of myself spiritually. So not to say that that's going to happen to everybody. It doesn't have to happen to everybody, but we all experience something on some type of traumatic level that is giving us a sign or a signal to say, hey, the divine is really trying to talk to you here. The divine is really trying to communicate. Okay, communicate that it's time for a change. And if you are not listening to the little subtle things that the divine is giving you, then it's gonna hit your ass. It's gonna hit you. Oh yeah. So yeah, you guys, I hope that you know, me sharing my story give you guys a better understanding of, you know, who I am, what I stand for, you know, what type of route, you know, spirit can take you through life in order to get you to where you need to be, where your soul wants you to be, you know, because we're ultimately on a soul mission here. And we have to just be grateful. We have to just be grateful and thankful for this human experience, because at the end of the day, it's not real. We only make it real, you know, through our identifications of humanity. But at the end of the day, we have to give thanks. We have to give thanks for being down here. There's so many souls that need to get down here, that want to get down here, but can't get down here to complete this mission. And here we are doing a damn thing. So I hope that my story can be like a light to some of you all. And I hope that it shed light as well on what my journey has looked like, who I am, what I've come from, and to where I'm going, because this is literally, even though I'm 10 years in, pretty much, this is literally still just the beginning, because time and space is not real. You know, that's not real either. And I've been on this journey for way longer than just 10 years, but it feels like it's literally still the beginning of this human experience. So anyhow, peace, love, light, and darkness to y'all motherfucking asses. I love y'all. Take care, and I'll be popping back in with more videos. Peace.